Hello, good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the latest four-wide motorsports production. We are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Gen4 Cup cars. Um, our normal broadcaster, Emmett Crow, had to go catch a football game tonight, so we got a couple of volunteers that are going to be trying to take his place and keep us up to date with everything that's going on. And right now, everybody is gritting on the line. And but before we get to that, I just want to introduce to you some of you guys. I'm sure have raced with him, but Mr. Charles Oberg. He'll be commentating for us, as well as my nephew Landon Brown, making his first primetime debut. So we're already get it going here. So they're starting to pace. So we'll go ahead and Charles, well, I tell you what, Landon, if you want to, take us through the starting grid here.
Yes, sir. Rolling off in P1, we have Christian Strader in the number 21, and to his outside, we have Hunter Carlson in the number 32. Row 2, starting inside, Austin Pack in the 81, Russell Windsor in the 24 to his outside, Austin Cansdale in row 3 in the 33, with Wayne Cannon in the 29 to his outside, Chris Golden, the ARC guy, in the 86 in row 4 on the inside, Benjamin Hollabaugh on the outside of row 4 in the number 8 car, Daniel Jones, the inside of row 5 in the 17, Ryan Newton on the outside, 9 machine. Inside of row 6, we have Yogi Schleer with Stephen Luttrell on his outside. Row 7, Zachary Nerney and Gerald Berlin. Row 8, rounding out the field, you have Chris Norris in the 56 and Doug Pachter in the 59.
And that is your grid for tonight as we're getting the tires warmed up and we're getting everybody rolling around the track. And I forgot to mention that we have an in-race reporter, Mr. Austin Cansdale, driving the number 3 car, or excuse me, number 33 car. As we get the green flag, we're headed into turn 1 with camera on Austin, and he's going to be giving us some live updates. He can't do it right now because he's going 3 wide into turn 1.
Yeah, he shot out there like a rocket. Guys, we're green light racing here, and this is going to be some great racing tonight. Tire wear is going to come into play. This track is going to eat tires. If these guys aren't careful, they're just going to burn them up. We got probably a 13 to maybe 20 lap wear off, depending on how hard you're driving and how hard you're saving. We're going to have a good race tonight.
Yeah, you see Christian Strader still in the lead. That is Hunter Carlson behind him. Hunter Carlson has showed speed in just about every series that 4-wide has ran. So not surprised to see him running up front at the start of this race, and I'll not be surprised to see him running up front at the end of this race as well. Russell Windsor running in third with Wayne Cannon short behind him. Hunter Carlson and Strader have pretty much left this field so far this week on this part.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys, are trying to get out front as fast as they can. But there's a lot of guys that were really fast in practice tonight, but they're taking their time right now. The leader's running, almost a 35.5, and a lot of the other guys are running 31, 38, 30.8. So I think a lot of guys are trying to save their tires, and they're going to play the long run here.
This is definitely a track you have to play the long run on. Old Atlanta and the Gen4's tire wear is a huge factor. So Strader and Carlson, they're just going to have to keep an eye on how they're driving these cars. They pull away with a 1.6 second gap from third, and if you're pushing the car too hard and too early, you will find yourself falling to the back pretty quick. And these guys that are mid-pack, these guys like Luttrell that run late models, they know how to save tires really well. Luttrell is one of the best at saving tires, and you could see him make his way through the field here later with that skill.
Oh, absolutely. Can't tell. Austin has been notorious to run as long as you can on a run with his tires, so it is going to be a good time to watch that. And it seems like everybody's found the line, everybody's settled in. Got a couple of guys kind of down low there, out of line, but it's going to be one of those races where these guys want to settle in and just find their rhythm, run their race, and that's what Atlanta's all about. I miss old Atlanta. Old Atlanta was a great racetrack.
Yes, old Atlanta was an awesome racetrack. Driving completely different tonight than what modern Atlanta races like with the repays. And I like that better, the old Atlanta. And as you can see, like you mentioned, everybody's pretty much just single filed out, running their race. As mentioned earlier, tire wear is huge, so you don't want to be turning your stuff up too quick. Just settle in, find the line. There's plenty of races here. We got lap 8 of 163 coming up on lap 9 here soon. So plenty of racing left. No need to push too hard.
No, and I'm going to say I'm seeing lap speeds of pushing 196. I've seen so far as my highest. The lap record here is 197. Now these Gen 4 cars, I know there's a lot of horsepower in this car. It's a lot of car. They might be beating lap records here.
It very well could. And a lot of things, or something that a lot of people don't realize about these cars until they actually get in one is you're flying. You get in an Xfinity car and you're running 180. You think you're going pretty fast, and then you get in one of these things. And at tracks like Michigan, you're hitting 206 and 207, and these cars are not stable. These cars' goal is to endure a race. They are a handful, and to be ripping around here at Atlanta at these speeds, as well as other tracks, like I said, Michigan, where you're over 200 miles an hour, it's totally different, and you can find a new respect for the guys that are able to wheel these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's at just slightly over a mile and a half. We got Ryan Newton, running a mile and a half in 30.3 seconds. This guy's flying. He's running P10 right now, but we'll watch for him to make it up the field. See what he's got. See what he does for tire strategy. This is going to be a tire game. We also got to think about fuel. Unfortunately, I went down to the pits earlier. I started talking to the guys about tires. They're very tight-lipped about tire strategy, and didn't get a fuel strategy off these guys either. So a lot of these guys are very tight-lipped on how they're going to run tonight. Everybody wants to keep it tight-lipped.
100%. And one thing I just noticed is Wayne Cannon had worked his way up 6/10 closer to Hunter Carlson, and the very next lap he's down to 2 seconds. So I'm not sure what happened there. It must have gotten a little loose coming out of the turn. Because I was just about to say Wayne Cannon was catching the leaders, or either the leaders were backing out, saving some tire, and all of a sudden all that time that he had gained just suddenly went away. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, and it could be track. Like I think Wayne was one of the guys in the pits I talked about. He mentioned the tires going away on him. He's plus 3 spots from the start. Our biggest movers are Luttrell and Nerney, up plus 6, and it looks like our biggest fader is Chris Golden actually, and Daniel Jones down 5. Chris gained a spot back, so he might be saving this stuff.
And Luttrell up to plus 7 now after he gets around Russell Windsor for that 5th position. Luttrell, as I said earlier, he's one of the best at saving tires. He has a lot of experience running late models, and as we all know in the late models, it's such a crucial thing to be able to save tires. And I think he's able to bring that to the table in just about any series that he races in.
Absolutely, absolutely right.
Yeah, and
Christian
producer
Schrader
Tracy
still
here.
hanging on to the lead.
Yeah, I just want to chime in and just mention that I'm not sure that I've seen this Zach Nerney run with us before. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him or not. I'm not very familiar with his name, but he seems to be doing a pretty good job, and he's kind of moving up through the field here. And he's coming up on, 3 cars right now. He's probably going to have to try to find a way to get around him.
Yeah, Zachary Nerney up 7 spots. Leckrell now up 8 spots. Biggest mover in the field so far. Leckrell is coming for that podium spot in third of Wayne Cannon. And possibly here for first or second here too.
Yeah, I just think guys are on different strategies right now. Some guys are charging through the field, and other guys are just trying to make it last. K-Strad up in first. He seems to just find a line every racetrack he's at. Every race he goes to, he's got a line that he's very comfortable with, and he could pull away. I would like to ask Austin Cansdell, how's the car feeling tonight, buddy? I know you're out there working your butt off, but what are you feeling tonight?
Car feels great. It's just getting a little loose right now. The tires are starting to heat up really good, and they're starting to really slick off, and the rubber's starting to lay down, so it's really slick.
Yeah,
you would expect that.
Yeah, Austin, producer Tracy here, just looking out your windshield right now and seeing what you do. It looks like you're headed towards a wasp nest there, man.
A little bit. They're getting a little dicey up here. Everybody's just trying to jock for position right now and figure everybody's roll out.
I got you. So y'all more or less just kind of just trying to find a good pace and just make laps at this point, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yeah, we got 163 laps tonight, and we're only on lap 20. Just trying to, just weed out the warnings and just have a good race. Trying to keep the cautions down to a minimum.
Absolutely, and to mention, we started practice. The track was at 95 degrees. It went down to about 93 degrees by the end of practice. It's back up to 97 degrees, which, as Kendall says, it is getting slicker. A matter of 5-10 degrees on this track could make a big difference in tire wear.
Yeah, and we've got over 20-degree difference in track temperature with it being at 97 degrees as opposed to the ambient conditions at 75. So I would imagine it's going to take its toll on these tires as we go along.
It definitely will. As we see just a few laps ago, Hunter Carlson has taken the lead back from Schrader, or for the first time rather, but now Schrader taking the lead back again. Trading spots now. The trail up to that 3rd spot. Wayne Cannon has dropped down to the 7th spot.
And look at Zachary, or I should say Zach Nerney. He's still easing up through the field here. He's starting to close in on Stephen Luttrell. Can't help but wonder if he's, I know everybody's on a different strategy, but you can't help but wonder the way he's moved up through the field, if maybe he's leaning on those tires just a little too much, or maybe he's as we
just like
caution.
Just like that, we got a caution. I'll go try to find that.
Looks like that may have been the number 70 of Gerald Berlin, possibly.
That's what I'm showing as well. Let's see if we can pick up a replay here.
Oh, yep. Number 70 around that Home Depot machine. Whoa! Whoever that was almost got them a piece of that. As Berlin goes for a spin in the grass, we have our first caution of the night.
Yeah, and you got to feel bad for Berlin. This guy puts in a lot of practice, a lot of effort every week. He was struggling with the setup in practice, trying to figure it out. And it just caught up with him. Feel bad for the guy. He really does give a great effort.
Yeah, and I know I've mentioned Stephen Luttrell quite a bit tonight, but Berlin is somebody that reminds me of Luttrell running late models. You know, Luttrell running the late model series. The beginning, really the first half of the season, he always found himself caught up in everybody's mess. Nothing was ever much of his own doing. He just wrong place at the wrong time, and that's just sort of how the season's gone for Berlin. He's just found himself in bad spots and had a couple of self spins that are mostly harmless, just losing position on the racetrack, and it just sucks. He does just like you said. He puts in a lot of practice. He shows up here every week, and he just draws the short end of the stick in some of these races. And like uh, Trail had mentioned, at the second half of the season, he just kept fighting and pushed his way through, and I believe he ended up finishing second or third in the point standings in the late models, and that could be the same case here for Berlin. Just keep pushing, and it's a long season we have ahead in these Gen 4 cars, so he very well could find himself at least in the top 10 in points by the end of this thing as well.
You said it perfectly, man. It's a long season. The bad luck you get at the beginning of the season might roll around, but we shook up the standings in that pit stop there. A couple of guys might have just taken outside tires or so. I don't know what the pit strategy was there, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I myself have not ran these cars at this track, so I'm not exactly sure 100% on the tire wear factor. I know that they wear. I'm not exactly sure which tires wear the most and at what rate. But it'll be very interesting to see on this restart the difference in strategy, because as we know, after the first pit stop, restarts are typically a little chaotic, a little hectic. So it'll be very interesting to see as Schrader and Carlson are still on the front row. So we'll see how it goes.
We got Wayne Cannon took a 10-second pit stop, which that kind of defeats the average of everybody's around 13.9, 14.2, 14.1. So it looks like maybe Wayne's on a different strategy.
He very well could be, and I do know that from that quarter pit stop, he did make up a few of those positions that he had lost on the green flag run. And the pace car lights are out now. Pace truck, should I say.
Yeah, these guys are ready to go green.
Green flag is out. Schrader with a nice jump, Hunter crossing his outside, taking that outside lane. Even Luttrell with a nice jump. Pretty quickly they find themselves single file.
We got another caution.
And this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. Never know how these restarts are going to go after pit stop.
No, they say caution breeds caution, and it's part of racing.
Yep, Austin Pack in the 81. We get a replay going here, and wow, he just loses it. The 81 around almost collects a couple cars as you see his front bumper sliding on the ground. That is our second caution of the night, and man, that car is damaged. Pretty bad.
Yeah, he's most likely gonna have to use a fast pair right now.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it here, guys. It looks like to me he just lit it up on the start. So I'm going to back this replay up just a hair. See if we can't get a good view of it here. So you can see him right now. He's probably hammering down right off the start finish line. Gets a little squirrely with him and unable to catch it before he plasters the wall.
Pack absolutely hitting that hard. Hitting that wall very hard. Losing the nose of that car. Going to have to take a faster pair on that one and got to work his way back through the field. Still plenty of racing left to go for that number 81 machine Pack.
Oh, that just shows you guys how bad tire wear here is. You know, you get used to a tire that wore out to nothing. You go in the pit, you put on a fresh tire, you go out, and 29 degrees of bank in. So much power in these motors. It's so easy to spin it. It really is.
100%. And I believe I saw the 29 of Wayne Cannon going back down pit road. So he'll be coming out in the 12th spot, I believe. Not sure what he needed unless he took only fuel the first stop and then tires this stop, hoping for a caution on the restart. I'm not exactly sure. But he did go back down into the pits and lose 6 spots. So very interesting strategy call. But maybe it'll work out for him. Like I said, plenty of racing left here at Atlanta. So we'll see if that 29 can catch back up and get back to where he was.
Yeah, that is very interesting. He lost six spots off of that. He had the fastest pit stop of those first takers, and then to just turn around and come down in the very next lap and lose it all is kind of interesting. Hopefully he gathers it back up and moves forward. He's a great driver. He's very capable. Long race. He knows it's a long race. He knows strategy. He's very versed in this Gen 4 car. So we'll see him up front again, I believe.
Yeah, Wayne Cannon, one of those guys that we have seen develop really quickly throughout all the series that 4Wide has ran. Just every week, this guy gets better and better and continues to find himself up front on long runs. So it'll be very interesting to see where he can put that 29 machine. Maybe here in just a few laps. If he just got some new fresh rubber on that car, the first 29, 30 laps of this race, a lot of drivers have pretty much figured out what they need to do, and maybe he can use that to his advantage. Get these spots back. The pace truck pulls off, and
yeah,
they'll be restarting single file. The 21 leads them to green, and what a nice start the 21 got in that Reese's machine. Great start.
Yeah, K-Strad is always on the gas at the right time. I know a lot of NASCAR drivers, use an average of restart. I don't think they use that average in iRacing. I don't think there's a way to tell what your restart average is, but he has got to be up there. That he is on every restart at the right time all the time.
Oh yeah, and I know from racing with Hunter Carlson that he is not an easy driver to hold off on the restarts. He is great timing. He has great drive. He's just one of those guys that knows how to get around the racetrack. So to see K-Strad pull away like that and pretty much maintain the lead for the majority of this race, except for a couple laps earlier on, is very quite impressive.
It really is, and this first three cars, K-Strad, Carlson, and Literal, they've taken off on the field. Nerney is right behind him, leading that second pack, but they got to get together and get some momentum there. It looks like that second pack's a little broken up. Maybe they could get back in line and follow these guys, but we'll see what happens here.
Yes, we see the 13 machine of Nerney working his way. Just got through getting out of that little hornet's nest of the 33 and the 24 working their way through. I believe I heard a dog. I think that may have been Tansdale.
No, that was the burger alarm. Sorry about that, guys. I was just going to key the mic real quick because I wanted to kind of toss it to Chris Norris here, who happens to be up 6 positions, running in 9th position. So I just kind of want to give him a little shout out and running a beautiful scheme here. So I will let you guys get back to calling the race, and I'll see what kind of burglars at my front door here.
All right, we'll let you go. As
Yes, sir.
on with the 32 of Hunter Carlson and the 36 of Latrell. slowly working his way up to that back bumper. He's getting ready to give him a fight for this second position here. Just got off a pit stop a few laps ago. Trying not to burn off the new rubber too quick. But Luttrell, I think, is one of those guys that's hungry for these top 2 spots. He's not playing around.
Oh, he's not. Those guys have checked out, and they're gonna catch the leader eventually. But this second pack is very tight, and our own Austin Cansdale is right in the midst of it. I'd hate to ask him how he's doing right now because I guarantee he's wheeling it. Cansdale, how are you feeling back there in that second pack?
I'm feeling good. Just trying to keep the nose clean. Trying to catch this front pack. They're just really fast. They have a lot more practice than me in these cars, and just hopefully I can maybe get a top 5.
Roger that, man. Keep digging, and thank you for doing the in-car commentary. It really really helps the fans get an idea of what's going on the track. Maybe later we'll come back to you for a track analysis, a drive-through, if you will. But right now, concentrate on what you're doing. Keep digging. Got to catch that front pack, guys.
Wayne Cannon, I believe, has fallen back a few more spots even after that later pit stop. Chris Norris, as mentioned before, he is a really big mover in this field right now. He's up to 8, up 7 spots. Nerney falling back a tad bit, but still running up there in the 7th spot. Chris Golden working his way back up in the 6th spot. Rader and Carlson still going at it. Gap there is about half a second. Carlson driving for that Fast Angry Racing team, number 32.
Yeah, I hate to see Cannon just dropping back. It just seems like he's dropping back more and more. He's losing more and more seconds. Every lap goes by. I'm wondering if he got into something, hit a wall or something we didn't recognize. He's saving a fast repair to the end. Something is off with that car. Because he was doing really well, and like you said, everybody came in, got tires all at the same time, and then he came back and got fuel. Not really sure. It'd be interesting to figure out what his strategy is. Maybe he just flipped strategy and wants to play a long run to the end where nobody else is picking up what he's finding out. Maybe he knows something nobody else does.
Yeah, producer Tracy here. I just wanted to point out, I got noticing the same thing. There's a lot of different strategies apparently going on here because most everybody came down to pit at the same time, but just like Zach Nerney was kind of moving up through the field and making good progress and everything, and now not only is his progress kind of slowed, but he's actually fell back a little bit. So I don't know.
He definitely has. He's definitely halted, but he's still up +7 from the start. Littell, +9 from the start. He's our biggest mover of the race. Chris Norris +7. These guys are still there. It just maybe they switched up strategy. Maybe they came off a little hot at the beginning of the race and they want to slow down. Like I said, I tell you guys, I went through the pits before the race and try to get some information from these guys for the broadcast, and they were all tight-lipped. Nobody really wanted to show their hand. Nobody wanted to tell me what they were really up to. And as a broadcaster, you want to give the fans the most up to date, but you can't blame these guys. They're racing for points right now, so you got to give it to them. It's just got to watch it play out.
We see a pretty tight-knit battle between Cansdale and Windsor. They're kind of going back and forth at it for that 4th spot. Russell Windsor in the 24, Austin Cansdale in the number 33. Chris Norris falling back a few spots, down to 10th. Not sure what happened there. battling side by side. We got a few battles going on here. Mostly single file still, though. Not too much aggression being shown right now. As that gap has gotten slightly smaller between Carlson and Schrader for the lead, but not too much, down to 4/10 now. One thing I want to mention
Isn't that beautiful?
is Bob Ross car. That's a beautiful car. Yogi Schleer in the number 12, and that's an awesome car. That's an awesome car. Rest in peace, Bob Ross. Happy accident. Happy accident.
Happy accidents is right.
Luckily for the 12 today, there have been no accidents of any sort. So let's just hope he can keep that up here. His remaining 6 half of the race.
Well, you talk about catchphrases, and the catchphrases here at Atlanta, aka Eco Park now, is real racing, real fast, and these guys are putting it down. The interesting fact is Fireball Robbins back in 1960 put down a fast lap of 133 miles an hour. These guys are averaging almost 190 right now, deep into tire wear. That's just amazing how far technology has come, and you know what these cars have become. Even though these are the Gen 4s, I think these are the most exciting, most powerful cars NASCAR's ever seen. So pretty exciting there to watch them race through iRacing instead of real world. We'll never see this again. We get to see this through iRacing, so that is really cool.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, it's very unfortunate that we don't get to see this anymore, and also unfortunately, these cars were slightly before my time. Not too far, but slightly. So I never really got to see this style of racing in person for myself. As talking about speeds, I just clocked Yogi Clear at going 188 miles an hour. Or something.
Yeah, you guys see this battle back and forth. I think it's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth right now. They're just about 3 wide on the corners. It's a pretty good battle back there.
Very clear, 190 miles an hour down the back stretch. Yeah, these cars are definitely getting it around here. This is old Atlanta. This is not the new draft racing all the way around, double file the entire time racing. I mean, these guys are by themselves pulling 190, and these cars are the real deal. Somebody that is being able to feel this real deal right now is Austin Tansdale. He's working his way around the 13. That'd be a 13 of Zach Nerney for that 5th position.
Real quick. Go ahead.
2/10 now. Latrell has passed Hunter Carlson for that 2nd spot, and Latrell is now 3/10 now behind Schrader. So Latrell is not wasting any time. It's like I mentioned earlier. He's serious about this, and he's going for that top spot. He's ready for it.
Yeah. I mean, he could track down K-Strad very easily, just quietly working it off. Real quick. Benjamin Hallborough last week. We really didn't know what happened to him. He kind of pulled off the track and said that was my race, but unfortunately he's in last place tonight. Cat gave him some problems, spilled some drinks all over him, and had to quit the race. But he was doing really great last week, and I know he's in last right now. He's making laps, but you'd like to see a guy like that come back into it later on. Like I said, we got a lot of racing left. He could do it. He's one of those guys that really can.
Yes, he is. And now Latrell and Schrader, wow, they are going at it now. 36 moving along the inside of the 21. Can't get there right now as they come across the start-finish line. The lap 55.
Hey,
Carlson
producer.
right on his back bumper.
Producer Tracy here, guys. Just, you know, of course, as I was getting ready to talk about it, they changed their line, but I noticed that Christian Strader and Hunter Carlson both all of a sudden started moving up to the high line, just like right here, riding up against the wall.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Strader in the wall.
Whoa.
The 21 in the wall is going to lose both positions, I believe. Yes, Hunter Carlson to the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Strader down to third now after getting into the wall. That was not
wow.
a soft hit there. The trail up to the lead now in that 36 machine. He will lead his first laps for the race.
Well, you know, I noticed that high line, they came off the corner with a head full of steam, but it comes with an awful lot of risk. And we just saw the result of that being that Christian Strader, want to make sure I say his name right, you know, one of the best drivers here in this series, and I took it right up there and got a bite of the white paint on the safer barrier.
Speaking of white paint, Strader sending it down to the bottom now on that white line.
Yeah, he is.
And he was making it work there. Maybe a little grip on that paint down there. As I thought he was going to get to the inside of Carlson, didn't quite stick. But he was making it work there for a second. The trail still in the lead. Hunter Carlson right on his bumper as he's looking to the inside, going into one. And he's going to get there. Will he get by? The trail with the momentum on the high side. Hunter Carlson's going to slide up in front of him, though. Hunter Carlson will get by 36 of Latrell. And Latrell going to lose that second spot as well to Strader. So the 36 goes from first to third in just couple of turns there.
And look at Latrell. Look at Latrell move his line up as well through 3 and 4.
Latrell following.
He did follow him. Yeah, he did follow him.
That's the thing I like about these cars. As I said before, I've never really ran these cars, and I've never ran them before at Atlanta. I've ran them at Michigan, and I think I ran them in an AI session one time at Las Vegas. But one thing I just love about these cars is there's always constant battles going on, as we see the 32 of Hunter Carlson in the wall that time. I didn't lose too much momentum. But yeah, as I was saying, these cars are very racing. You're going to see passing a lot. And that's something you don't see a lot anymore in modern racing. But these cars right here just provide such good shows to watch. And I think we've witnessed that here the past 10 or 12 laps between these top three, as they're still going at it.
They are, but I just heard across the radio, I think we're going to start pit cycles pretty soon here. I guess guys are, you know, taking it all they can, getting as far as they can. Chris Golden, I think, came in. But these three up front are just absolutely battling it out. I don't know if they want to get off the track.
They're trying to see who's going to give in first. Watching to see what the leader's going to do. As the 24 is coming down pit road now. That will be Russell Windsor. Carlson still maintaining that lead right now. Who will pit first out of the top three? Stephen Latrell up 10 spots this race. What an amazing drive by Latrell right now. Driving for 8K Motorsports.
Yeah, we need to see if we can't get Steven to fill out the driver card, so then instead of seeing all this blank stuff like this, I can actually get a little name to go with the performance here.
Yeah, these drivers do have the opportunity to fill out a driver's card and you know, get their face, their name, their hometown, you know, on the broadcast. It does help out the broadcasters, and you know, you guys want to show off. You guys are out there racing hard. Oh, here comes the leaders. The leaders are diving into pit road.
Will be the first one out of the top three to go down pit road, and he is out now. Carlson and Latrell coming down now. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. K-Strad undercut them just a tad bit, but he will take up quite a bit of ground out of the pits. With Hunter Carlson missing his box a little bit, having to reverse it back in. Yogi Schleer in the 12 coming off the pit road now. That will put 13 of Zach Nerney in the lead. With Austin Cansdale second, and there's Nerney coming down pit road as well as Cansdale.
Oof,
Everybody's pretty
Gansdale
much
almost
making
missed
their
it.
stops.
Well, while Gansdale's on the pits, how you doing there, brother? How's the car feeling? We've noticed two separate lines. We noticed an outside line and an inside line. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. There's a lot of ways to drive this track. A lot of people are rolling up high and cutting it low in the center and riding up to the wall on the exit. Just preference really at this track. Oh man, I got a penalty. Well, dang.
Oh, we hate to hear that, buddy. We really do.
Yeah, I noticed, Austin, you had the cone up underneath the right front fender well, it looked like, when you came in there. Just wanted to point that out
Yeah,
so you can tell your tire changer to pull it out before you leave.
yeah. I guess I hit the cone. I was trying to not to hit the 13 coming in, and I guess I think I overestimated it just a little bit and hit the cone.
Yeah, I had mentioned that when you came in, it was a little hot, but uh, you hate to see that happen. Hopefully you can recoup. I mean, we still got a lot of racing left. You never know what's going to happen.
Here comes the 29 of Wayne Cannon back down in the pits. This will be his third pit stop of the race, I believe. Everybody else is on their second. Wayne Cannon, one of those guys we talked about, seems to be running a different strategy than pretty much everybody in the field. And there's been times where it seemed like it was working out for him, and there's times where it seemed like it wasn't working out for him. So I've been kind of thrown for a loop here. I'm not exactly sure where to expect him to end up at the end of this thing, but Cannon is one of those guys, like I said earlier. He's able to find his way up front late in the races, so I have a good feeling for that 29. I'm sure he's not out here just guesstimating. He knows what he's doing. He's got something. There's a reason these guys are tight-lipped on their information in the pits earlier, asking questions. They definitely know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. You know, as a broadcaster, you want to try to get information, but you know these guys aren't going to give it. They don't want it broadcast what they're doing. They got tricks up their sleeves. Another guy that's really smart when he races, Chris Golden, now up to P6. We don't know what his strategy is, but another guy that's very smart. He's raced ARCA. They're not going to give it up to you. They're not going to be free will about what they're doing. They're out there to race, and they're out there to keep that all to themselves.
100%. And I believe that looked like a new team that Chris Golden was running. Looked pretty cool. No pun intended. But I really like that car. I believe at Daytona he was in a Monster Energy car. So that's a nice little switch up. I like that car. Chris Golden from Elk City, Oklahoma, the 86. The Case Grad finds his way back out to the front, leading this one again. Trailing Carlson, right behind him, a few seconds back. But nonetheless, it's those three once again fighting for those podium positions.
Yeah, those three have been under a blanket all race. They're a little spread out now because of the pit stops. So it looks like we cycled out. Now it's just finding that rhythm again, running those laps. We're back up, approaching almost 185, 190 miles an hour now with fresh tires and a tank of gas. So these guys are having fun out there.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, as we mentioned, different pitch strategies. At this point in the race, when a caution comes out, if another caution comes out, things are going to get dicey. You're going to really see the differences in strategies and what these guys have come up with. But if no caution comes out, I think Schrader, Luttrell, and Carlson, nobody's going to really have much for them. They've been the class of the field all night. Maybe not the best qualifying position the trailer had hoped for, but man, he has sure made up for it this race.
Yeah, and I mean, K-Stride ran 30.9, but like you mentioned, Cannon on a completely different strategy ran a 30.5. So with time, Wayne's no, actually, sorry, not Wayne. It is Daniel Jones just put in a 30.6. So these guys are catching the leader. The leader's not running as fast as these guys in the back.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing a little bit of pit strategy showing itself here. As Daniel Jones working alongside of the 86 of Chris Golden, who I believe is the 8th spot. Approaching that 33 of Austin Cansdale. Not much of a gain on the leader between Luttrell and Carlson. Still 3.5 seconds back. I believe it was about 3.8 earlier. He's made up a few tenths, but as somebody is getting loose down there. Who is that? I can't make out that number. That is the 56 of Chris Norris. He almost lost it there. I think he was trying to give the leaders a little room and maybe gave him a little bit too much room. That car was not wanting to do what he wanted it to do.
Yeah, when you got a bunch of guys coming barreling down on you, you try to put the car out of harm's way, but sometimes doing that, you over adjust and thing gets loose on you. So you just kind of hold on tight and hope for the best.
Well, I tell you,
cars,
producer Tracy here, looks like everyone's kind of cycled through some pit stops. We've got a little bit of a lull in the action. So we're going to take a quick break and let our broadcasters take a pit stop as well. And we will join you back right after a few minutes here. Okay, let's see, I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, that's a big wreck.
Welcome back to Atlanta after our break, and we have a big wreck here for our third caution of the night on lap 99. And wow, there are some tore up race cars from that one. Not sure what happened there. Looked up and saw 2 or 3 cars spinning. That would be the 29 of Wayne Cannon, who we were just talking about earlier. 12 of clear. I believe that Chris North, 56. Gonna watch the replay here. Chris Norris sitting up on the track facing the wall. And bam! Oh man, the 29 of Wayne Cannon absolutely smokes him. Clear does get by. I thought he had a little bit of damage, but he didn't. Yeah, that was quite unfortunate for that 29 of Wayne Cannon. We were just discussing him working his way back through the field on a different pit strategy, and now all of that is kind of going out the window for him there, Charles.
Yeah, when you get caught up in a wreck like that, and whatever strategy you're on, it just now you got to recalculate everything. Unfortunate for Wayne. I think he had a good feeling about something, and unfortunately, just didn't get it. Apologies were made though, over the radio. It wasn't just a racing incident, and just got to move forward for that.
Yeah, somebody else who did not want to see that caution out was the 21 of Christian Strader. Still had about a 2.5 second lead. Now that has quickly diminished after that caution. And,
Yeah,
looks
and
like
he's actually
Latrell will win the race off pit road.
Yeah, I was fixed to say Landon Charles. I was just going to point that out. Landon beat me to it, but yeah, no, I'm not sure if Stephen Latrell only took rights or not as much fuel or what, but he actually beat Kristen off the pit road there. And I tell you what, since I'm already live here and everything, and we see Austin going back into the pits there, I'm gonna bring up a little graphic here real quick and just show you our upcoming race, what we call the forecast, presented by 4Wide Motorsports. Next Friday, August the 22nd, the 4Wide Motorsports Gen4 series, the very series we're watching right now, will be running the Bass Pro Shops 250. That's not correct though, because we're already at Atlanta. So that will be on producer Tracy's shoulders there for screwing that up. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but anyway, on the 29th, let's see if I can get this straight. It'll be the Gen 4 Series Dodge Dealers 200 from Darlington. And I also believe that we're going to be having the trucks and the late models running concurrent series starting not the 1st of September, but the first week in September. I can't remember the exact dates. I was supposed to put this on the graphic. So anyway, I'm the one with the egg on my face. Haven't had a perfect broadcast yet, and there's mistake number 525 out of 1 million. So anyway, back to your hosts, Landon Brown and Charles Oberg.
Well, we make happy mistakes around there. So we got the Bob Ross car out there. We're making happy mistakes, and I can't wait to get back to racing. So I'm gonna join that Monday night crew, and I can't wait to join these guys and be a part of on track festivities. All these guys, a bunch of good guys. All of them race really clean. All of them, try to win, but they try to teach each other race etiquette at the same time, which is absolutely amazing. You can't ask for a better bunch than this group.
100%. And talking about Bob Ross, interesting fact, he did not like his hair. Bob Ross didn't like his hair the way that it was. From what I understand, he kept his hair that way to save money on haircuts. That's pretty interesting. Thought I would mention that. As the pace truck lights are out now, Latrell winning the race off of pit road earlier will lead him to green. Race truck pulling off. And the 36 will lead them into turn 1. 61 laps to go in this race. Now 60. Hunter Carlson diving it down the inside of the 21. Schrader. The trail with a really good jump, and here's where we're going to see things unfold.
Straighter on the inside.
Starting to get go time now. You're going to see these pit strategies really starting to play out. You're going to see who the difference makers are, what the different plays have to offer here. Trail has shown speed all night. Not a great qualifying show, but an absolutely great green flag racing show as the 21 gets a little loose off of there. Oh, we got somebody on the apron. They saved it, not sure who that was, in the Nilla Wafers car.
Yeah, gathered it back up, back on track. Slowly long. He's gonna lose a lot of time, but who was that?
That was Hollabaugh, number 8.
Ah, you hate to see it. Maybe it was his cat again. You hate to see it.
Maybe it was the cat. Not sure. He was told to leave the cat in the crate tonight, so maybe it was something of his doing. Not sure. As we see them, they're single file back there, but they're working each other. They're single file, but they're making different lines work back there, and they're really showing off speed here.
Well,
we have a 13 and 17.
No, talking about different lines, let's go to Cantrell and see what he's running. Let's get a bird's eye view of what he's doing in-car camera. Take it over.
Oh, as we go in here in the 3 and 4, I like the high line. It keeps the tires a little cooler. Get right next to this wall right here and just work the wheel a little bit, feather the throttle, get on the throttle, going down the front straightaway. As we hit the start and finish line. Yeah, 197 miles an hour going into turn 1. Right, this bottom line a little bit. I'll try to hold this, as we call it, the Harvick line on that white line. Oh! Feather that throttle. I got a little loose there. As we come into 3 and 4, I'm going to run the bottom line just for y'all. The Harvick line, we call it. Saw that wheel down just to get it next to that white line as much as I can. And now I'll do the middle line for y'all. Right, Nick, there's a little, I don't know if y'all can see that in that gyro cam, but there's like a little crack in the asphalt. I like to keep the left side tires right there on it. Keeps the car, it's like almost like a little bump there. It helps the tires kind of turn a little bit. Gives it a little bit better grip. Get back on the throttle here, full throttle going down the front straightaway. Then I'll do a little Larson line for y'all if I can. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'll give it a try. Full throttle going down the back straightaway here. 196, tap the brakes to get the car set a little bit. Roll back into the throttle. Full throttle, as you seen the 13 up there. I don't know if y'all seen that with my big mirror in the windshield. The 13 looks like it got in the wall up there a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did. Might have brushed the wall.
Ella's also fallen back to the 3rd position, and Hunter Carlson is in the lead now, with Christian Schrader behind him by a 1/10 of a second. And something I was looking at while we were on board with Ansdale was Chris Golden. I believe Chris Golden had to make a pit stop during that. I'm not sure why, but he did drop some in the standings. As we are completing lap 111, going on lap 112 now of this race. And the 21 diving on that inside, as Ansdale mentioned earlier, the Harvick line. We saw Schrader and Carlson working that line earlier, and the top lane just seems to have a little bit too much momentum to make passes on the inside unless you're significantly faster. But it does seem K-Strat is holding on to it, and he's staying side by side here with Hunter Carlson.
Yeah, and I've noticed too, K-Strad, he'll run that top line for a while, and then when he wants to make passes, he'll go down to the inside. So, maybe he feels that that's the way to go. And as I say that, now he's making passes on the outside. This is Atlanta. This is Atlanta. This is the Gen 4 car. You don't know what this car could do. It has so much power. You could drive the hell out of it. You could overdrive it. You could underdrive it. Unbelievable racing. Only on iRacing do we get to experience this. This is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Hunter Carlson, Christian Strader, side by side. The trail now peeking into the inside of Carlson, trying to get that second spot back. And I'll tell you what, this top three right here has been an entire race on its own.
It really has. It's just you throw a blanket under these guys, over these guys, and this has been the show. I know the guys in the back, they're trying to dig. Unfortunately, that's where the incidents have been. Just anything has thrown off your race, you're out of it. But you don't know. It's still kind of early. We still got quite a bit of laps left, and we could get one lucky caution, and there could be somebody else up front.
You got that right. With 48 laps to go, I mean, in these cars, 48 laps to go at a track like this, you just don't know. You just don't know, and another restart could completely change the game. We know differences in tire. Track temp has stayed relatively consistent, but differences in tire and how people have been able to conserve it. These restarts, they can get sketchy, especially, the more the laps put down, the more aggressive they're going to get, the more impatient you have to be if you want to be leading this thing. And you never know. You never know. These guys back here, 5th, 6th, 7th, Jones, Windsor, Hansdale, those guys could be up front at the end of this thing with just one little mistake by these top three. It does not take much.
No, it really doesn't. And they've been racing close. They've been racing it all race, but that's going to change when we dwindle down to 15 laps left, 10 laps left, 5 laps left. You're talking about 3 laps left. Then maybe they're not racing each other so clean anymore. I would like to ask Hansel, are you guys good to fuel to the end of the race? Is there another pit stop that has to happen before the end of the race? I know you might be on a different strategy than everybody else, but what's the average?
Well, the average is about 35 laps of fuel on a full tank, but you got to make the tires last that. That's the issue. But no, we pitted on lap about 100. It was about 100, somewhere in there. So you're going to definitely have to make another pit stop.
Excellent, great information. So that could change the race. What's guys going to do on that last pit stop? They're going to take a splash of fuel to get to the end. You're definitely going to have to take tires at the end because you've been on tires for what, 20, 30 laps. It could get interesting. It could change the whole field. We're not done yet, fans. We are right in the middle of racing here.
As we see Zach Nerney in the 4th position, he has caught his way up here to the top 3, and he wants a piece of this battle. He wants it. He's made up 9 positions from the start.
Again, we talk about guys not giving up. He's one of them. He's one of them that has sat there and endured falling back in the field a little bit. Working some pit stops, working some fuel strategy. He's right back up in there. Actually, I think he's a little faster than everybody else right now. He's driving through them.
Nerney, that last lap of 31.4 is a tad about 2/10 faster than Carlson's last lap, and about even with the front two. So it's anybody's game at this point. These cars, they provide such good racing, as we've talked about all night, and just because you're up front now, you could be 3 to 5 spots back by the next turn. I mean, it's just how these cars race. You never know what's going to happen. 21 is making that high line work. The other 3 on the bottom, and that 21 had a great run up to the back bumper of Latrell. He's going to go diving into the inside. Nope, he's going to keep running that high line. And that 21, he's been making that high line work all night, getting runs. He's passed him on the inside, on the outside. He's one of the best. He's one of the best out here in the field.
Yeah, he really has command of the track. Well, I should say command of the car, driving the track. The car's telling him what to do, and he's doing exactly what the car needs him to do. It's going to be hard to beat him. I know he's in second right now, but I can't put my money on any of the top 4 right now. I'm not a betting man, and I was always told to, place your money on a sure thing. I have no idea what the sure thing is. I'm lost right now. These top 4 guys are very capable of winning, every one of them.
Most definitely. That you couldn't have said it any better. This is just not one of those events that you can place money or any sort of bet on. It's anybody's game. I mean, you look at guys that are 3 or 4 seconds back, and you think they're out of it, and 2 or 3 laps later, and here they are, battling for podiums and for the lead. I mean, as we saw from Nerney earlier, he was running, a few seconds behind the top 3, and now, just recently he's been in that fight for the podium. So it's just been good overall racing all night, and I believe we've only had 3 or 4 cautions. So these guys have done really good holding on to these cars as abrasive as the track is on these tires. Just really good work by these guys, running as close as they have been, running as hard as they have been, and it's just one of those things. You never know who's going to come out at the end, and I'm excited to see who it's going to be because I am completely clueless, Charles.
I agree with you because I think they're being very nice right now. Obviously, they're giving each other a great deal of room. Everybody's picking their line, but come 15, 10, 5 laps left, that's going to change a little bit. We're going to look at a lot of more aggressive lines. We're going to look at, maybe tire wear, like Kansdell said, there's a pit stop, so they're going to have new tires coming to the end of this race. So it is going to get interesting.
Yeah, it shouldn't be long before pit stops will be happening. See Chris Norris coming out of the pits now in that 56 machine. With 35 laps left in this race, I mean, you have 1 pit stop remaining. You go for it right out of the pits. I mean, are you gonna gas it and just leave everything else behind right after the pit stop, or is there still gonna be a little bit of saving going on, making sure there's no late race caution? I can't think of nobody else better to ask than the 33 of Austin Cansdale. What's your take on that?
Well, if it was me, since we pinned it on lap 100, it's going to be really close on the gas, and you have to save your tires if you want to make it to the end of this race, if there is no overtime.
Overtime could be a huge factor here with fuel, especially. It does look like it's going to be pretty close on fuel. 24 is coming down pit road now.
Yeah, we got a couple takers short pitting right now, which there's another strategy in play. Short pit it, let the leaders run it out, and get ahead of them a little bit. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, it's one of those risks that you have to take. These guys that have been running mid to the back of the pack, you have to try something. And although it's risky, as Cansdale mentioned on a late race restart, green, white, checkered, you might run out of fuel short pitting like this. So, it's just one of those things you have to take a chance on. And, you aim for the moon, land amongst the stars, as they say. So,
yeah, absolutely.
That's what you got to do.
Absolutely, and Atlanta, we've we've seen. I know, back in my day, I've seen a bunch of guys run out of gas coming to the checkered flag, winning a race. I want to say Mark Martin ran out of gas at Atlanta back in late 90s, maybe. But yeah, you see a lot of guys run out of gas here. It's a guessing game when you're running this many laps.
Yeah, not that long ago, you remember Brad Keselowski just a couple of years ago, or last year maybe, having to pull into the pits, coming to green, running out of gas. So, you just never know how these green-white checkers will play out if you end
Well,
up
you're
getting
right.
one. So,
You're right. Keselowski just did it last year, I believe. Yep.
I believe it was the Brickyard 400 last year at Indy. So it's just, pitch strategy. What do? It's a tough decision to make, and I'm glad that tonight I get to be in here. I don't have to be the one making that decision this time. Usually I'm having to make that decision, but I tell you what, I'm stressed out when I'm in the car, but I'm stressed out now because I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to be leading this thing at the end.
Yeah, a couple more guys in the pits. The first four here is spreading out a little bit more. I gotta say, maybe 2 or 3 more laps they're gonna come in, but they're definitely spread out a little bit more, losing a little bit more momentum there. Guys that have already gotten tires, they're gonna start making up time, but you got to believe that these front four are going to come out of the pits and take control again. They've taken control the whole night.
Yeah, we have seen that all night, those front four. As the 33 of Austin Cansdale, here he goes, making his pit stop, his final pit stop of the night. On lap 135, coming to 136 now when he crosses the line. Here he comes, the 36 of Latrell down pit road. You're going to start seeing these top guys coming down pit road now. Be very interesting to see how this plays out. These guys that were running mid-pack that short pitted, if they can make it on fuel, and they're good at saving their tires, it could work out for them. They may not win the race, but finishing 4th or 5th is better than finishing 11th or 12th. You can make up a lot of spots.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, a lot of these guys, they're taking 14-second pit stops. That's 4 tires and full fuel. That's a 14-second pit stop. That's a full pit stop here. Like I said earlier, Wayne Cannon took a 10-second pit stop and ended up having to come back the next lap and get fuel or tires or whatever he decided to do. But everybody right now is taking a full stop.
Yeah, this is the plan for these top guys. This will be their last pit stop of the race, hopefully. Not sure how many tire sets some of these guys have left, but like I said, those guys that short pitted, aiming for the moon, landing amongst the stars. We'll see how it ends up. Especially if some of these guys have ran out of tire sets now that have short pitted, and they are forced to stay out on a late race restart. That can really, really shake up the restart. I mean, you'll have guys that spin the tires, get loose, as we saw earlier with Austin Pack, spinning the tires and getting loose and knocking the nose off of that machine. It could really completely change the running order here if there's a caution that comes out.
Well, you got a good point, Ken, and I mean, on the flip side of that, you got a lot of guys that were involved in wrecks earlier in the race, so they might have had to use a fast repair instead of tires, so they might be on, maybe they didn't use tires because they just used the fast repair to fix themselves, so you don't know if they stretch the tires out a little bit more. It's a crapshoot at Atlanta. It really is. You don't know until the after race interviews, where you gotta ask these guys, what the heck were you doing?
Yeah, this track This is just one of those tracks. This is one of the best tracks I think on the schedule, in my opinion. New Atlanta, not so much, but old Atlanta, and it's just one of those greats. It's an absolute great, and it's great to be able to see the Gen 4s run on them again in iRacing, as you talked about earlier. Something we don't get to see anymore, but I'm glad I'm able to witness it here tonight because it's been a heck of a show.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. And I give it to the fans. There's a lot of guys watching right now, live on our broadcast. We really thank you for coming out. We try to give you the most entertaining products we can. If there's anything you want to see, if there's anything we should change, please leave a comment. We're here for you guys. Every one of these guys out on the track is here to put on a show for you. 4Wide Motorsports is absolutely top tier. We're trying to give you guys the best coverage we can. So hang with us. We're going to get better and better every week. Thank you guys for stopping by and giving us a watch.
Yes, indeed. Thank you to everybody who comes out and tunes in every week. I know we have some people that love to watch these races every single week, and they hardly ever miss one. And so, for that, we're super thankful. Luttrell and Strader, they have just been throwing haymakers. I mean,
they are.
they're
They're going back and forth, isn't this
I've
awesome?
just been sitting here watching it. Man, they are actually putting on a show. And it's like you said earlier, there comes a time where you play nice, and there comes a time where it's time to move. You don't have time anymore. You don't have tires anymore. Once those tires reach a certain point, passing is harder. It's harder to do. Even if you've been good the whole race, the tires can only take but so much. So I think Ritter is showing that a little bit here with Luttrell, a little bit of impatience. He's throwing it down there on the white paint. He's going to try to make the move on the inside.
Ooh, I think he's got it. No.
Oh, Luttrell will still
Luttrell's coming back.
Luttrell, Prater, Carlson, 2 seconds behind. Almost 3. Right now, it's just between the 36 and the 21, and they are all over each other. You could cut a blanket in half and still throw it over them.
This is great racing. This is absolutely amazing racing. We got what, 20 left, under 20 left. This is amazing racing. I know a lot of other guys have fallen behind. You feel bad that the field got so spread out, but this is just the way it is. When you're racing such a powerful car and you've got so much air under you, these cars move. If you fall back just a little bit, it could be the end.
Hey, producer Tracy here. I just wanted to point out to everyone, Austin Cansdale is a lap down. Everyone else is multiple laps down. So something tells me he's kind of hoping for a late race caution here. Maybe where he can get a wave around and start the battle for a top 5 position.
I noticed that too. I know we've called him up into the broadcast booth. He did an excellent track orientation. Guy's a great guy. Fighting for the lead lap again. So we hope that a caution comes out for him because he's done us a great service up here. I wish him the best.
Most definitely. And the 29, once again coming down pit road, he has by far made the most pit stops this race. Wayne Cannon, misuse just not been his night in that 29. Just hasn't been his night, and I hate it for him. He's one of those guys that usually runs up front each week, but as for every racer, I mean, it, Charles, as good as I. You just have those moments. Have those moments where stuff just does not work out for you, no matter how hard you try. And I think tonight has just been one of those nights for Wayne Cannon.
Absolutely. You got a night that nothing goes right, everything goes wrong. You got another night that everything goes right, nothing goes wrong. It's all part of racing. Nobody likes to work on these cars the next morning, so nobody plans on going out there and not doing good and having to fix something. So no, you're absolutely right. You feel bad for a guy that's trying as hard as they can, and it's just not going right. It's nothing in their control. It just doesn't happen for them.
That's just racing for you. That's how it works. And man, something I noticed going down that back stretch with Latrell and Schrader, those cars were squirming down the back stretch. These tires are going away, and they're going away fast. And they are still throwing haymakers. They are still nose to nose, neck and neck, giving each other all they have. There's no more time to waste. It's time to go. And they're showing it here between Schrader and Latrell. Those cars are not handling exactly well right now, and it puts on a great show. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this battle. I mean, it's been one lap, one's leading, one lap, the other one's leading, and it changes. It changes every turn. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch. I mean, I've enjoyed it. These cars, I know from driving them a handful of times, here are not straight driving cars. They want to pull you down the racetrack. And if you're on somebody's inside or outside, depending on which way the car is wanting to squirm down the track, it's hard to stay off of people. As there we go, Latrell almost in the grass there, and Latrell will still somehow find the momentum to get in front of the 21. I think he's going to slide up here, on out of two, and he will get it. Latrell,
He did get it. He
right
dug. I mean, you call a good driver, a great shoe and a good wheelman. Both of these guys are both. They're working the wheel, they're working the pedal. They are just doing everything they have to do to keep that car under them and keep momentum. These guys are putting on a clinic right now. Good for them. Like I said, we're coming down to almost 10 laps left. All gloves are off right now. We're not so happy-go-lucky nice anymore. We're trying to win a race. So this is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you sign up for when you come to our league. This is what we do at FWM. This is it.
100%. This is it. Week in and week out, these guys put on a heck of a show, and I hate to be this way. I hate to do it, but I mean, it's just the elephant in the room. We were discussing people like Ansdale hitting and hoping for a late race caution. When you have cars that are going for the win with under 10 laps to go, and they're throwing haymakers at each other, these cars not being stable. It's very easy to mess up. It's very easy to make a mistake. As the 21, there we go. There's a mistake. Going down to the bottom, he had to save it. And that's what I was just getting ready to say. It's like you said, gloves are off, and it's time to dig. If you make even a simple mistake, it could take you and the leader out, possibly. And that opens the door for people like Carlson and Nerney on a late race restart, and Cansdale, who is praying for a late race restart. You hate to say it, but those top two guys running that close with cars that the tires are going away from, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
It really is. I mean, they're pretty far out there, but they're not far enough. Once they start skating around this track, they're gonna lose a lot of momentum. Every time they slide, it's seconds and seconds off the lead that they're giving up. Third place is catching. Landon, I mean, I'm holding my breath here. Every lap, every turn, this is exciting racing. This is amazing.
It is very exciting, and these top two cars are now catching a little bit of traffic here. Yogi Schleer in the 12 Bob Ross machine, they're going to have to work their way around him as well. And that's the thing. I mean, there's still enough laps for them to catch a little bit more lap traffic, and learning how to navigate it, I mean, is the difference between winning a race and losing it. I mean, you have to be just as good at working around lap traffic as you do just keeping the car steady. I mean, it's a skill to that too. You have to be skilled in working around these lap cars, and it can determine a race.
You're absolutely right. You working around lap cars, you're worried every time you give it too much gas, or you're trying to pass at the wrong moment, or just trying to force it, and as a driver, it worries you. But these guys handled it great. They got past them. They're setting sail. 5 to go. They put on a clinic tonight.
Yes, they have, and Latrell with a little bit of looseness out of that turn. I saw the tail end kind of whip out a little bit, but he keeps it going. And 4 laps now as they cross the line. Raider still looking to get back up to that back bumper, and I can tell you what, the next time he catches them, if he does, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. It's going to be door banging, trading paint, seeing who can lead that next lap, because we've seen it here. The high line, the momentum is starting to fade away. I mean, he's using it a little bit, but it's not nearly as effective as it once was, and the trail has just been really, really good at defending his line, defending that number 1 position, and I don't know. Schrader has been really good at getting around people, but the trail, absolute class of the field at defending right now, I think.
Yeah, and you feel bad for Carlson. He was up there all race with those guys. Those top 3 were under a blanket the whole race. He kind of fell off at the end. Still, he's in 3rd. He's got a great lead on that 4th place car of Daniel Jones. But you feel bad that he's not up there too. But the leaders, they're putting on the clinic. They pulled away. There's nothing you could do about that. That is just a clinic right there.
Here we go, the final lap. White flag for the Bass Pro Shops 250 here at Atlanta. 21 of Christian Schrader ripping that high line as he's in the fence a little bit. He's going for it. And Latrell coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. And Latrell is going to win the Bass Pro Shop 250. The 36 machine driving for 8K Motorsports. I believe that is Latrell's first Gen4 win of the season. Absolute show these guys put on. An absolute show.
Yeah, absolute clinic. You're right. These guys deserve a lot of credit here, and I hope a lot of these guys can learn from them. They just hit every mark they had to. They ran a perfect line. Can't ask for better. And thank the fans for coming out and watching this race. I hope you guys were entertained. Come see us Monday. Come see us next Friday. We do this, guys. We do this for you. These guys, they race to get recognition. They have a skill set. It takes a lot. These rigs cost a lot of money. They want a little recognition for what they do. Give them a big round of applause.
Most definitely, and a lot of something that a lot of people just don't know, as Latrell burns it down here on the finish line. This sim racing stuff, when the bug bites you, it becomes a lifestyle. I mean, it's not just you pick it up one day out of the week and you have fun and put it back down. I mean, once you get in these things, as me and Tracy and my dad call it, the racing bug. Once it bites you, it latches on to you, and you find yourself spending most of the days out of your week doing this stuff, and these guys just get a kick out of it. They absolutely love it, and Stephen Latrell is loving it a little extra right now as he burns it down, doing a little bit of a Polish victory lap.
Yeah, go get it, buddy. He deserves it. And Landon, to add to it, I think I got just enough money into my rig here and everything I've spent in iRacing to put together at least a little Pro 4 car or something. It's absolutely insane how much you spend on this, but at least I get to hit a reset button. I don't have to fix anything the next day.
Yeah, that's definitely a big perk to these cars, but a lot of money sure does go into this. And I think that's part of what makes this more of a lifestyle than just a once a week thing. I mean, these guys put their hard earned cash into it. And while these guys were not racing for cash tonight, they were racing for glory. They were racing for bragging rights. Stephen Luttrell is the one that comes out on top and gets both. As he might do another burnout here. We will be right back with interviews after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the conclusion of the Bass Pro Shops 250 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Worldwide Motorsports Network. And man, this was an amazing show. And at the end of it all, it is the 36 of Stephen Luttrell who put up a heck of a fight this whole race for this spot. And Stephen, I just want to congratulate you on the win because man, that was just one that was hard fought for. It was never an easy time that entire run. You were driving your butt off, man, the entire run. I just got to ask you, those last 10 to even 20 laps with Strader, throwing absolute haymakers with each other. Um, did you learn anything that run from Strader to kind of use against him and uh, keep yourself in front, or were you just kind of doing your own thing and it just worked out for you?
No, just running my own race. I knew that if I could get to the outside, I could get around him because passing on the inside coming out of two at this track is really hard to do. You try to put the power down and the car just wants to get sideways. So I knew if I could get to the outside, I could probably hold it and not let him get to the outside. It's all I was trying to do. But being able to run up front with these guys is amazing to me. And then to win it on top of that is just, I don't even know, man.
Charles?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring in K-Strad here, and he's P2. This race was absolutely insane towards the end. I don't know how you ran the outside line and the inside line, bounced back and forth, were able to pass people when you wanted to, drop back when you had to. Uh, Strader, what was your thoughts the whole race? Like, where were you in your mind why that was going on?
Um, Throughout the race, I mean, I felt like early in the race, I had the dominant car early on. So I spent a little time kind of messing around with some things, trying to find different lines and different things to try later in the race. Because typically, as like tires wear and guys kind of figure things out, it'll kind of bring the cars back together. And Steven and Hunter, they were both really good on the long run, which made it a little bit difficult to try to find a line that would run as well to keep up with them. But overall, I mean, for the most part of the race, I was just kind of worried about trying to stay out in front. It's tough to pass here in some scenarios. It's a little bit easier to defend where you can kind of get up high and kind of make these guys try to make the passes on the bottom, like Steven was saying. And so probably needed to protect that a little bit more and try to keep up by the fence, stay out of the wall, but also just try to keep it up on that high lane. Maybe a groove off would have been a little bit better.
Well, I gotta say you made it entertaining. I watched you wheel that car, and the whole race I was gunning for you because I never watched somebody take so many different lanes and make them work. That was a clinic. Um, uh, we appreciate that here. Uh, Absolute clinic. Would you like to thank any sponsors or anybody out there that's watching tonight? Let us know right now if you got anybody you want to.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you guys, Reese's Cups, everybody over at Copperhead Racing. Just kind of, and then big old shout out to Wayne. Puts everything together, keeps it running, and keeps everything moving smooth. So that's always a nice thing to have.
Absolutely. Thank you a lot, man. Congratulations on second place. We're gunning for you. Landon, you want to take over your third place interview with Carlson?
Yeah, man, we have the 32 of Hunter Carlson down here finishing third. Hunter, man, you were in that battle for first, second, and third the majority of the night. There at the end, kind of fell back a little bit further than you wanted to. Were you fighting any handling issues later on in that run, or just tire wear? I mean, what do you think? What do you think, or what do you know happened there at the end to, kind of lose a little bit of that time? Congrats on third, though. Still, that's a great finish. But yeah, just kind of walk us through what was going on there towards the end of that run.
Yeah, if I could go back, I wouldn't have ran that second to last stint nearly as hard as I did. I kind of screwed myself there. Just got caught in the heat of the moment, racing hard and throwing those haymakers at each other, and it kind of wore my tires out at the back end of the run. I was kind of just holding on, and which put me in a bad spot coming in the last pit stop. And from there, I just had a really bad exit of pit road and just fell behind the 8 ball on the last run. I could just never catch back up, especially being on equal tires. And I really needed a caution there. Didn't think we were gonna get one. We didn't. But I'll take a third any day, especially when we have these full season points like we do. Consistency is gonna be king.
100%. I think there was a lot of people that were banking on that late race caution, and I honestly myself I thought we were going to get one as well. So it kind of surprised me, but I'll tell you what, going the haymakers, it was a lot of fun up for me and Charles up here in the booth, and we had a ball watching it. It may have hurt tires a little bit, but man, my first time being in the booth tonight, and I had a blast. I had a blast watching you, Latrell, Strader, all y'all, man, battling up front. It was absolutely great. And just take a moment to thank your sponsors and thank anybody at home that might be watching.
Yeah, I want to thank Studio 86 and the owner TJ. He's always keep me motivated, keep me looking good in the schemes. Taught me everything I know with design, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. I want to thank everyone over at Copperhead Racing, Christian, TJ, Brad. They're not here tonight, and Steven as an honorary member, and I just want to thank G Fuel. They do support me pretty well, and use code Chef for 10% off there if you want to hydrate a little bit. I am after the race, but at the same time, I want to thank everyone that puts this thing on. I want to thank Wayne Cannon. He has a lot of stress on his shoulders running this thing, and especially these Gen 3 cars they're an animal. Yeah, and everything. And I just want to thank you guys for putting up with us and everything, and especially with this impromptu booth we have going on right now with Emmett being out of town. You guys did a great job, and I want to thank everyone watching.
We greatly appreciate it. And guys, that is your third place finisher of Hunter Carlson. And I believe Charles. Okay, we're gonna go back and ask Stephen Luttrell who he would like to thank tonight, according to Mr. Tracy.
Tracy, for coming back to me, and for producing this, and all of Forward Motorsports, and Christian and Hunter for putting up with me and giving me pointers and helping me out, or I wouldn't be up here. But no sponsors. If anybody wants to be on the hood,
Yeah, the Browns. You already got the paint
not
scheme.
The Browns. Not the Browns. But no, my mom, my dad, my wife, my kids, my grandson Mason, and the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Cleveland Browns.
Patriots.
All right. We appreciate it, Stephen. And Charles, I believe we have Austin Cansdale coming to speak with us now. If you would, let's get him up and moving around. What you got?
Yeah, so
man.
Austin, you ran the race. You ran a good race today. It didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, but I've heard you have a good understanding of the points race. So maybe the race didn't go too well, but the exciting news of where are we in the points race here?
Well, as of right now, we got Hunter Carlson sitting first with 671 points, and we got Mindfood Jones sitting in second with 626 points. They're separated by 45 points. Then sitting in third, you got Wayne Cannon at 616, only 10 points behind Mindfood. Then you got myself, Austin Cansdale, sitting in fourth with 585. Then you got Yogi Schleer sitting at 578. You got Christian Strader coming out of nowhere with 545. You got Adrian Featherston at 538. Gerald Berlin at 520. Chris Norris at 503. Doug Pachter at 501. You got Joshua Tressler at 429. Chris Golden at 421. You got Austin Pack sitting at 394. You got Benjamin Hollenball sitting at 378. You got Bradley Young sitting at 370. Stephen Luttrell with 355. You got Zach Tebow at 299. Russell Windsor sitting at 289. Paul Dillon sitting at 284. That'll round out your top 20 in points.
Guys, everybody watching right now, we're talking about a pretty close points race right now. Anything can happen. The top guys could falter. The bottom guys can come up. It's a long season. These guys are going for it. Stay tuned. That could change. It's going to change dramatically throughout the season. We got a great group of guys here. We got a great group of racers. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so I believe that will close us out for tonight at the Bass Pro Shops 250. Charles, it was a pleasure being alongside with you tonight. Congrats to Luttrell, Strader, and Carlson. Big thank you to Tracy Brown in the broadcast booth, production booth, I should say, for putting on this show. It's absolutely amazing. It's my first time in the booth, and I really enjoyed it. So hope to see you guys next week on the Four Wide Motorsports Network. I'm Landon Brown, alongside Charles Oberg, Tracy Brown in production, and we will see you next time.